Good morning. I'm pleased to declare Quinnipiac University's 2017 commencement exercises for the College of Arts and Sciences officially open. Would everyone please stand for the invocation, which will be delivered by Rena Judd, University Rabbi.
Good morning. Source of all that is sacred and holy, we thank you for sustaining us in life, for nurturing our body and our soul, for bringing us to this moment in time. It is with enormous gratitude that we say together, Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to take a moment to collectively acknowledge the platform party, which includes trustees, university administrators and representatives, university clergy and deans, as well as our speaker and honorary degree recipients, whom you'll meet shortly. It's now my honor to present Dr. John L. Leahy, president of Quinnipiac University, who will bring you greetings on behalf of the university community.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to all of you on this joyous occasion. To our graduates, the class of 2017 from the College of Arts and Sciences, I want to add a special welcome and my heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. During your years at Quinnipiac, you have made all of us very proud. While social scientists and the media often portray your generation as excessively self-centered and less concerned about helping others, the Quinnipiac class of 2017 has clearly disproven that characterization. More than any other class, the class of 2017 has volunteered on hundreds of projects to raise money for the sick and the impoverished and to help those who are less fortunate. Many of our graduates participated in community service projects to respond to the needs of our local, national, and international communities. The big event is a student-run project that brought together more than 1,500 students to provide direct services such as cleanup and beautification projects for local public parks and nonprofits. Philanthropic events such as Q-Thon, Relay for Life, blood drives engaged thousands of students in raising money and supplies for children's hospitals, the American Cancer Society, and the Red Cross. Many of our athletic teams participated in Dr. Seuss Day by reading Dr. Seuss stories to children at local schools and libraries and preschools. Our 19 fraternities and sororities participated in community service projects, including service at elementary schools and nonprofits, and raised thousands of dollars for local and global charities. Many of today's graduates have traveled nationally and internationally to Nicaragua, Guatemala, Barbados, and the Dominican Republic to work with community members to comfort and confront community challenges, including rural school teachers and healthcare workers, families of children with special needs, small business owners, and grassroots organizations. The class of 2017 has also excelled academically. 70 awards will be given out this weekend honoring seniors for their outstanding success in the classroom. This class also achieved an extremely high graduation rate and the highest levels ever of cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude academic honors. A record number of you are going on to pursue graduate degrees in your various fields of study, including dental, law, medical school, and a variety of PhD programs. Today's graduates also displayed outstanding leadership within the Quinnipiac community. And no one better exemplifies the leadership roles you took on than Joey Mullaney, who served as your student body president this year. Joey is with us today, graduating with the College of Arts and Sciences. I very much enjoyed working with Joey, particularly in his role as a student representative on the university's Board of Trustees. Class of 2017, as you look back on all of your accomplishments, I'm sure that you'll agree with me that you would not be graduating today if it were not for the help and support of two very important groups, the faculty at Quinnipiac and your families. So graduates, please rise and express your appreciation. Please rise and express your appreciation to the faculty seated in front of you and your families seated all around you. Class of 2017, you have certainly left your mark on Quinnipiac University, and for that, we thank you. And I predict you will leave an even greater mark on the world that awaits you. Again, congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you.
I now call Connor Kenny, Christine Keneally, and John Leahy to come forward for conferral of the honorary degree.
Congratulations, class of 2017. Well done. Connor Kenny, Mohora Gilish, my dear friend, you and Kenny's bookshop and art gallery are part of Ireland's treasures. Located in Galway, Kenny's has been an Irish tradition for more than 75 years. In fact, the name Kenny's is revered throughout Ireland. Your parents opened the small second-hand bookshop in 1940, and you began working there when you were just aged 16. Now, as managing director, you travel the world and furnish Irish books to prestigious institutions, such as the Library of Congress and the Lenin Library in Moscow. For 20 years, you have been bringing documents, books, and art to Quinnipiac University, creating a unique collection of resources relating to the Great Hunger in Ireland. Your mother was once quoted as saying that, "For every book, there's a customer. You need only to find them." You have dedicated your life and your career to doing just that. In appreciation of your dedication to furthering Irish history and literature, the love of the printed word, and your willingness to share Ireland's rich culture amongst its diaspora, Quinnipiac University is proud to present you with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this 20th day of May, 2017.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, Connor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations. Thank you, Christine, for those very kind words. My family have been associated with Quinnipiac University for more than 20 years, and it has been so exciting to watch the growth of this campus and your reputation in that time. You all know the significance of what President Leahy has achieved here at Quinnipiac. He has developed this wonderful university that you graduate from today, and what I believe his real legacy will be the Great Hunger Museum on Whitney Avenue. The Museum of the Great Hunger, Museum on Gort the Moor, has become a veritable shrine for all those who died of hunger or who were forced to flee during Ireland's great catastrophe of the 1840s. When John Leahy came to us in Galway, in the west of Ireland, a place particularly decimated by the Great Famine, he announced that he wanted to build a museum dedicated to the Irish famine. We listened, and more importantly, we believed he was going to do it. You may not be aware, but Quinnipiac holds the most important collection of artworks relating to the Great Famine. There is nothing in Ireland, or indeed anywhere else, that compares with the collection that's here. Over the years, I have been involved in advising major libraries and museums from San Francisco to Tokyo and all ports in between, but my association with Quinnipiac is the closest to our heart. We are very proud of what John Leahy and his team at Quinnipiac have achieved, and privileged to have played a small part. I thank John Leahy, his trustees and his team for this singular honour. Finally, I would like to thank my good wife for putting up with me for the last 40 years. She has always, as she said, she did what she had to do so that I could do what I needed to do. It's been a good arrangement. Guramila Mahagud.
I now call Marcin O'Moyer, Sean Duffy, and John Leahy to come forward for conferral of the honorary degree.
Martin O'Moyer, Stater agus Gwelgor, statesman, and Irish language champion. You are also an author, an entrepreneur, and a member of the Government of Northern Ireland. Since the early days of your political career, you have worked tirelessly to achieve respect and equality for all Irish people. You have headed the Andersonstown News, helping it to grow into the Belfast Media Group, where you remain a director. You have consistently supported Irish American media, including the Irish Echo. You are also a talented writer, and your memoir, Belfast's Dome of Delight, chronicles your early days as a novice ambassador through witty prose and dialogue. But you are first and foremost a civic leader. You have said that the way ahead is to treat people with respect, and this is reflected in how you choose to live your life. In recognition of your steadfast promotion of Irish cultural identity and work as a civic leader to achieve equal rights for all, regardless of tradition, Quinnipiac University is proud to present you with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this 20th day of May, 2017.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I now ask John Geanakoplos, Mark Geis, and John Leahy to come forward for conferral of the honorary degree.
John Geanakoplos, as the James Tobin Professor of Economics at Yale University, you have brought insight and fluency to some of the world's most complex markets. In particular, your research and theories about housing have won critical acclaim for a provocative approach to debt forgiveness. As human beings, our minds are our greatest collateral. Your ideas about the connectivity of a global economy have proven this to be true. Along with decoding the thorny matrix of forces affecting the housing market, you have helped to shape economic policy at home and abroad. From 1996 to 2005, you served as director of the Cowles Foundation for Research in Economics at Yale. Your body of work is widely respected and admired for its avant-garde analysis, vision, and clarity. In 2014, Bloomberg cited you as one of the 5 economists who deserve Nobel Prizes. In appreciation of your profound contributions to the study of economics and your staunch commitment to innovative thinking, Quinnipiac University is pleased to present you with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this 20th day of May, 2017.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, John.
It's my privilege to introduce our newest alumnus and commencement speaker, John Geanakoplos.
It's a little ridiculous for old people to give young people general advice. In Hamlet, Shakespeare makes fun of Polonius, the advisor who always gives the king wrong advice, by having him give a speech to his son just before the boy goes off to school, which makes it a bit like a commencement address. And though Shakespeare makes fun of Polonius, the speech is actually full of ideas I found to be useful. So at the risk of you making fun of me, I'm going to come back to Polonius. I should say that the only other graduation speech I ever gave was at the University of Athens Economics and Business School in 2010, just after the outbreak of the Greek debt crisis. I said that more people had defaulted on their mortgages and been thrown out of their houses in America than there are people in all of Greece. So the Greeks shouldn't feel so bad about themselves. As thanks, the university presented me with 5 ancient Greek coins, which turned out to be counterfeit. I'm giving this speech because John Leahy is a hard man to turn down, but I also accept it because it's hard to turn down a request for advice. Have you ever noticed that if you ask somebody in the street for $1 or any number of other trivial things, they'll probably say no. Ask for directions, and they'll always give them to you. People love to teach. I think it's because they love to learn. Learning leads to understanding. Understanding leads to simplicity. Simplicity is beautiful. Beauty leads to love. In fact, this is my theme. In life, choose what is beautiful, but choose wisely. First, let me say that I have a broader definition of beauty than you might assume. I love math. I think equations are beautiful. Beauty gets a bad rap. Don't be fooled by beauty, they almost say at graduation speeches. Well, I say to you graduates, if you don't pursue what you think is beautiful, you are doomed to do less than your best. You will never be more beautiful or more handsome than you are now. Dress the part. That, by the way, was the advice Polonius gave to his son. Dress well because clothes make the man. Everybody has beauty in them. You can learn from everybody. Don't miss the chance to listen to what they say. As Polonius said, hear others' opinions and keep yours to yourself. You can't succeed at anything without knowing what you're doing. Everybody gets better the more they understand, whether it's a mechanic, a hairdresser, a scientist, or a heavyweight boxer. Muhammad Ali said he was the greatest because he was a scientific boxer. Mike Tyson could talk endlessly about the champions that preceded him and the techniques each had invented. A true mentor must not only instruct, but show how the subject and its study is simple and beautiful. There's no such thing as pure learning by doing. You can't invent the wheel before you drive a car. Everybody needs a mentor. Once a mentor has shown you how and why a subject is beautiful, you'll be willing to work very hard at it. Those who are the best at what they do are not necessarily the most talented or even the ones who work the hardest, but the people who learn to see the beauty in the practice they need to become great. Learning or studying or practicing is hard work. My mother often quoted Thomas Edison, who said genius is 90% perspiration and 1% inspiration. But she didn't explain that perspiration is impossible without beauty and love. Nobody can concentrate for long on something they don't enjoy. Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver in football history, did drills without a football for 25 hours for every 1 hour he played football. If in even one course you took the last 4 years at Quinnipiac, you came to love studying, then your education was worth every penny your parents spent on it or you borrowed. The worst thing about having a mentor who makes you want to practice hard is that you can lose her or him. Somehow your mentor is the one you believe will never die. This year I lost one of my mentors, an economist named Steve Ross. At his memorial service last week, one of his students spoke about the first day the student drove to school, parked his car, and went upstairs to talk to the professor. When he came down, the car was gone, and he ran back upstairs yelling that everybody told him New Haven was dangerous. He shouldn't have come. Now he had so many complicated things to figure out, how to call the police, how to rent a car. I don't understand, said the professor. Where did you say you parked the car? Right across the street, the student yelled, pointing out the window. I don't understand, said the professor. Show me exactly where. Take me to the spot you parked the car. Exasperated, the student dragged the professor down the stairs until they stood in exactly the parking spot, which was then empty. At this point, the student, who last week was nearly 70 years old, began to tear up. He had parked in front of the president's driveway. In the end, it was simple. You should pursue what you love, what you think is beautiful and simple, but pursue it wisely. Friends are a kind of mentor. In the last 4 years, you've made some of the best friends you'll ever have. As Polonius said in his third piece of advice, hold on to your proven friends with chains of steel, or by working with them. If you have a great idea, leverage yourself by getting your friends involved, and don't hesitate to be involved in their great ideas. One way to keep friends, and bosses for that matter, happy is to exceed expectations. The most important thing to learn about is yourself. But you may not be able to do that without your friends, including many of the people you've come to know here at Quinnipiac. Know thyself is the most famous piece of the 150 pieces of advice inscribed on the wall of the Temple of Apollo in Delphi. You must periodically take stock of what's going right and wrong in your life. It is so easy to delude yourself about yourself. People are overconfident and rarely admit making mistakes. You must find a way to measure your progress objectively and quantitatively. Your biggest obstacle to progress may be squandering time. The older you get, the more acutely aware of time running out. The most time is wasted on addiction. Addiction to alcohol, or to cigarettes, or to drugs, or to TV, or to surfing the internet, or to social media, or to obsessing over tasks. Steve Ross used to say, never spend more time on anything than it deserves. If you're forced to do something unpleasant eventually, do it now. Forced moves first. Forced moves is a chess saying. I found over the years that chess teaches many good life lessons, such as planning. Sitting here at commencement, many of you already have a plan. Maybe one of the great functions of commencement is to remind you that a very good time to make a plan, if you haven't already, is when you finish college. Ask yourself right now, this minute, where do you want to be in 5 years? How is this job going to help me get the next job? Don't be afraid to look ahead. As the great chess player and mathematician Emanuel Lasker said, any plan is better than no plan at all. Except maybe if it's your parents' plan for you. I had lots of plans for my oldest son. When he graduated just recently from college, I had the opportunity to give a toast in his honor. I told him, we spent countless hours playing chess when he was a little boy, and I planned he would be a great chess player. But no, he didn't become a great chess player. I planned that he would become a great mathematician because we spent hours poring over the distributive law and other algebraic axioms. But no, he wasn't a great mathematician. When he was a little boy, I carried him on my shoulders night after night, dancing to Greek music, planning for him to become a classic scholar. But no, he didn't become a classic scholar. He did what he loved to do and exceeded my wildest expectations. I told Constantine I was going to mention him in this talk. He said, be sure to mention his many trips to watch Quinnipiac hockey and Saturday night at Toad's. Parents notwithstanding, everyone needs a plan. Did President Trump think one step ahead when he fired FBI Director Comey? Did he not realize that Comey might be more dangerous to him after he was fired than before he was fired? In my youth, the more strategic president, Lyndon Johnson, also had an FBI director he hated, named J. Edgar Hoover. You hate him so much, Johnson was asked. Why don't you fire him? Johnson answered, I'd rather have him in my tent pissing out than outside pissing in. Of course, nobody can guarantee yourself success just by making a plan to succeed. But you shouldn't give up just because the odds are against you or you don't know what the best move is. You have to give yourself a chance to succeed. As Woody Allen said, 90% of life is showing up. Or as Yogi Berra said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Mistakes are inevitable. It's most important to keep your wits about you after a mistake. As they say in chess, it's almost always the second mistake that kills you. If you show up, aware of your strengths and weaknesses, and if you have friends and you have a plan, then you are a good player. And as the Cuban world chess champion Capablanca put it, the good player is always lucky. Well, that's it for my practical advice. Of course, pursuing what you love wisely is never easy. There are always trade-offs. If a piece moves to one square, it must abandon another. Even the good player must choose at the fork. So I'm going to mention 5 moral dilemmas you are likely to face and how you might deal with them. First, the choice between faith and skepticism. That comes up in religion. I was an altar boy for years, while at the same time I was reading the history of so-called proofs of the existence of God. But faith is not primarily a religious problem. It is needed for trust. You can never prove to yourself that somebody is worthy of your love and won't betray you. Second is your duty to yourself and to others. As Martin Buber said, if I'm not for myself, who is for me? If I'm not for others, who am I? My parents had never asked me for anything that wasn't for my own good. And so I used to think that the solution to Buber's problem was to always say yes to any reasonable request from a reasonable person. But it turns out there's not enough time for that. Your first duty is to yourself. Only when you're happy with yourself can you be truly generous to others. The third trade-off is between the good and the best. People are always told to compromise, but it's easy to compromise when the best deal you can get, when that's the best deal you can get. What makes people turn down good deals is they think that if they wait, they can get better deals. You must have high standards or else you will be shortchanged, but you can't let your zeal for the best prevent you from agreeing to any deal. The best cannot be the enemy of the good. The fourth choice you inevitably face is between loyalty and new adventures. It takes time to build things, but you can't grow without seeing new things. I've always felt the rewards were greatest from loyalty, though one can take that logic too far. As Yogi Berra said, you've got to go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours. The fifth, my last moral dilemma, I'm adding because of who's here, is between forgiveness and accountability. Inevitably, a friend will break a promise. You can't treat that lightly, especially if the promise was important. And you should not forget. But if the failure to deliver was because of an unforeseeable event, or because of an event that you could have foreseen more easily than your friend, then you should forgive. People and nations have a hard time forgiving. As Nietzsche said, we feel good seeing defaulters punished. But punishing your friend means losing your friend. As Shakespeare's Portia says in The Merchant of Venice, more Shakespeare, forgiveness helps him who receives it and him who gives it. Polonius's advice was to avoid the problem altogether and neither lender nor borrower be, but that's unrealistic. Debt is one of the great problems of capitalist economies. Without it, there's no growth, but too much leads to catastrophe. The two biggest bubbles in recent history have been in housing prices and in tuition, both of which are driven by debt, mortgage loans and student loans. I testified twice in Congress in 2009 that the government should help coordinate partial debt forgiveness among subprime mortgage lenders, who because of the complicated structure of subprime securitization contracts were not able to do the forgiving themselves. I argued that if subprime lenders forgave, say, a $160,000 loan down to $90,000 when the price was worth, say, just $100,000, they'd get the $90,000 back, which would be more than they would get back if they foreclosed and threw the homeowners out of their houses. In the end, not a penny of subprime debt was forgiven, and the average recovery from foreclosed mortgages was under 25%. The lenders got $40,000 instead of the $90,000 they could have gotten by partial forgiveness. A professor at the University of Athens heard my graduation speech in 2010, I mentioned, when he became finance minister recently, he asked me to help with the Greek debt negotiations in Europe. Now, the Irish got through their problems, but the Greeks are now being asked to pay 3.5% of GDP for decades. No country in history has paid that much for that long on its debt. The greatest generation in America that fought World War II and then paid down the debt only paid 3.5% twice, even though its debt was owed to American bondholders instead of to foreigners, and U.S. employment was 3.5% instead of 23% in Greece. We're going to find out in the next few weeks what's happening to debt forgiveness. So now I testify to you, be forgiving. Forgive yourself most of all. Of all things you practice so that you get really good at them, practice believing in yourself. You know already what is beautiful in you. That is what you should choose. As Polonius said in his last piece of advice, to thine own self be true. Thank you.
Thank you, John. It's now my privilege to turn the program over to Dr. Robert Smart, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Hello, everyone. I bring you greetings from the faculty and staff of the College of Arts and Sciences, and congratulations to all the graduates and their families. This is a great day. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences please approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the graduates or the candidates to the platform. Nikolai Anonson, Melanie R. Abbott, Alyssa L. Ackerson, Alexander Manuel Ademes Rodriguez, Carrie Ann Agresti. Nicole Alexandra Alvarez. Ashley Marie Appleby. Ashley is the recipient of the Senior Service Prize in Criminal Justice. This award is presented to the senior criminal justice major who exhibits extraordinary service to the program, campus life, and to the community. Congratulations, Ashley. Liana Zoe Avgaris. Christine Marion Avitable. Lauren Elizabeth Bagdo. Tanaya Janae Baker. Victor Sequeira Barbosa. Elizabeth Nicole Bartolucci. Olivia Victoria Bartolomei. Allie Elizabeth Bates. Jacob V. Beckwith. Josh Nathaniel Berger. Perry Jennifer Bail. Khalid Derek James Belail. Matthew Kyle Blumenthal. Emily C. Bodinger. Nicole Anna Bonomo. Alex Evan Branzel. Catherine Maria Brickell. Courtney Lee Briggs. Tyler Patrick Brown. Kate Ann Brookman. Noah Hubert Buck. Stephanie Lynn Beekle. Gabrielle Marcella Burkhart. Taryn Joan Bush. Jessica Elizabeth Burns. Anna Nicole Capitola. Sarah Catherine Caruso. Cameron Noel Chaplin. Taylor Jean Cello. Ming Fan Chen. Alan Bognan Chiga. Heather Rose Chovitz. Peter Welsh Kusid. Lauren Elizabeth Chiadelio. Jeanette Stacy Sibeli. Jeanette is the recipient of the Joan Phillips Gordon Prize in Sociology. This award in honor of Joan Phillips Gordon, former chair of the Sociology Department, is presented annually to a senior in sociology, social services, criminal justice, or gerontology who demonstrates outstanding academic and leadership qualities. Congratulations, Jeanette. Madeline Gilda Ciraldo. Devin Mackenzie Calandro. Thomas Joseph Collins. April Elizabeth Caldwell. Christina Marie Comizio. James Anthony Conway. Cara E. Coogan. Abigail J. Cook. Katie Elizabeth Cooper. Brianna Joy Corprew. Michael Joseph Cosgrove. Michael is the recipient of the Christopher Becker Memorial Prize in History. The History Department awards the Becker Prize to the graduating senior with the highest overall grade point average. Congratulations, Michael. Adelia Sophia Kauser. I could have made one up if you wanted. Jason Stephen Coulmon. Jason Stephen Coulmon is the recipient of the Alfred P. Sternot Memorial Prize. This award is presented to the graduating student who has earned distinction in the study of philosophy. Congratulations, Jason. Kathleen Ann Dacey, Julia Daniels, Chanel Davis, Connor Patrick Dean, Shannon Elise Stegnan, Natalie Marie Delia, Thespina Delianides, Christian Michael Del Vecchio, Rebecca Ann DeRosa, Sarah Lynn Dickinson, Marissa Elizabeth DeRoma, Alexander Michael Doherty, Catherine K. Donlan, Maggie Elizabeth Donahue, Heather Ashley Dorn, Jan Christian Dunn, Jennifer Danielle Dupre, Samantha Elizabeth Dyer. Samantha is the recipient of the R. Gordon Pelusi Graduation Prize in Psychology. This award, established by the Pelusi family, is made annually to the senior major in psychology who has the highest overall grade point average. Congratulations, Samantha. Gregory Scott Egan, Kadia Emery, Matthew B. Epstein, Anne-Marie Fakiris, Cecilia Mary Fanning, Melissa Nicole Faragasso, Melissa Nicole Faragasso is the recipient of 3 prestigious awards. The Legal Studies Book Award is given annually to the student who has demonstrated exceptional ability in the major. The Alumni Association Academic Achievement Award honors the student from each of the graduate schools who has attained the highest scholastic standing. In addition to earning this rank in the College of Arts and Sciences with a 4.0 GPA, Melissa is the recipient of the President's Scholarship Award. Dr. Leahy presents this award in recognition of the students who have attained the highest scholastic standing in their graduating class. Melissa is a member of Lambda Chi Epsilon, the National Paralegal Honors Society. With appreciation for QU's emphasis on experiential learning, Melissa's proudest achievement was becoming a Global Engagement Fellow, which allowed her to partake in workshops at Oxford University, the United Nations, and the Nobel Peace Prize Summit in Colombia. After graduation, Melissa will attend Fordham Law School. Her parents, Michelle Coppola Wilson and Nicholas Faragasso, join her on stage. Congratulations, Melissa. Jessica Corinne Fedak, Megan Elizabeth Fakite, Jacqueline Marie Filomeno, Matthew Brennan Fisher, Cassidy Taylor Fitzgerald, Luciana Joy Foes, Connor Che Foley, Erin Elizabeth Foley, Rebecca Jacqueline Foltz, Jacob Benjamin Fromer, Larissa Mary Gade, Sarah Isabel Gaffney, Aya M. Galeo, Aya is the recipient of the Political Science Outstanding Senior Award. This award recognizes a senior in political science who has shown high academic achievement, made a significant contribution to campus life, and/or shown excellent leadership qualities. Congratulations, Aya. Selena E. Galaforo, Jillian Joy Geiger, Megan Elizabeth George, Christian Richard Giles, Mary Alexa Giliberto, Danielle Nicole Gehring, Manuel David Gomez Prieto, Ilona Ricky Gordon, Caitlin Kilgore Green, Ariana Pauline Guido, Gianella Romina Gutierrez, Benjamin Emmanuel Handwerger, Syed Ali Hasham, John Raymond Hatton Miller, Christina Marie Heffern, Danielle Teresa Hillier, Olivia Catherine Hilton, Olivia Patrina Hines, Amber Leigh Hopwood, Sarah Nicole Horvath, Melanie Bannenberg House, Victoria Melissa Huff, Danielle May Huntington, Ben Anthony Iakoy, Stephanie Marie Javarakis. Stephanie is the recipient of the West Educational Publishing Student Award. This award is given annually to 2 legal studies students who have demonstrated outstanding achievement and professional growth. Congratulations, Stephanie. Joanne Jean, Kiana Amanda Joseph. Kiana is the recipient of the Rachel Reynes Prize in Social Justice. This award, conferred in recognition of Professor Reynes, is presented to a senior in sociology, social services, criminal justice, or gerontology who demonstrates a passion for social justice. Congratulations, Kiana. Samuel Rice Kaplan, Emily Ruth Katz, Joseph Thomas Keenan, Linda Campui, Matthew Stephen Kirby. Matthew is the recipient of the Cardinal Joseph Bernardin Distinguished Service Award. This award recognizes a graduating senior who has contributed significantly to the spiritual, religious, and moral welfare of the Catholic community at Quinnipiac. Congratulations, Matthew. Crom. Stephen Joseph Crom. Brendan Doyle Labanara. Lauren Elizabeth Lambert, Marissa Elizabeth Landino, Megan Elizabeth Lang, Jessica Marie Lapadula, Brianna A. LaPena, Terry Lynn Lungeni, Mary Kate Elizabeth Lavin, Lauren Leal, Madison Michelle Lecker, Amanda Lee Lavallee, Emma Levine Sporer, Junpeg Lee, Ashley Lynn, Michael Edward Little, Jessica Ann Lobel, Michael Nicholas Loizu, Emily Lowenstein, Alyssa Luciano, Christopher J. Lynch, Jenna Florence Malkin, Nevo Yakov Friedman Mantel, Carice Whitney Marcellin, Danielle Ray Marino, John Tyler Marquette, Danielle Erica Marmer, Haley Ann Marquardt, Summer Tatiana Mason, Fiona Ann Mateer, Paige Elizabeth McCafferty, Anna Marie McCormick, Christopher W. McDougall, Julia Mary McNamara, Samantha McNulty, Matthew James Medeiros, Gina Miro, Alyssa Lauren Michael, Catherine Arden Minate, John Howard Mitchell, Danielle L. Moore, Charlotte Agra Morley, Joseph Richard Mullaney, Kelsey Susan Lorraine Mumford, Caitlin Erin Murphy, Rachel Murphy, Margaret Rose Miles, Yesenia Natal, David Charles Niger, Patricia Terry Nejma, John Forrest Nutting, Nicholas Matthew Ochikon, Julian Odo, Matthew Blakesley Ostreicher, Hector Ogando, Emma Lee Ogden, Michelle Ann O'Hay, Habib J. Omar, Ruth Chidumembe Onyirimba, Geraldine Anavort, Sarah Nicole Pandolfi, Jack Patrick Panzeris, Lindsay Jane Pedersen, Jessica Rose Pereira, Abigail Jane Perry, Zachary Ryan Peters, Teresa Eileen Phillips, Joaquin Pedadita, Marcia Pierre, Nicholas Pinero, Theo Andrew Pinot, Rebecca Ann Pistilli, Michael Philip Petrie. Michael is the recipient of the West Educational Publishing Student Award. This award is given annually to 2 legal studies students who have demonstrated outstanding achievement and professional growth. Congratulations, Michael. John Daniel Percelli, Antonio Ulysses Ramirez Avila, Anthony Michael Rapocchio, Jesse Matthew Ricker, Janice M. Robinson, Samantha Elizabeth Gladys Rosa, Lindsay Marie Rosenbaum, Lauren Michelle Rosenfeld, Julia Singer Rosenzweig, Mackenzie Caitlin Rowe, Nicholas Daniel Rupert, Jessica Sabiri, Olivia Saha, Sarah Morgan Schreiner, Anna Christine Shanti, Caitlin Rose Sclafani, how you doing? Corey St. Patrick Scott, Juliana Marie Sen, Donovan Sepulva, Jessica B. Shapiro, Jacob Matthew Sheldon, Donovan A. Smith, Trisana Spence, Matthew Kevin Spengler, Jade Sarah Starici, Mark Lucas Steinberg, Emma Jane Tangay, Jordan Naye Tapia, Ryan Carlos Taylor, Stephanie LePage Thomas, Danielle Ann Tomlinson, Michael Rose Tullo, Jillian Taylor Van Pelt, Alex Vargas, David Thomas Vaughn, Jessica Marie Veilleux, Joseph Anthony Verducci, Jenna Lee Vietz. Jenna is the recipient of the James Fix Award for Excellence in Mathematics. This award is given to the senior mathematics major who has shown the greatest achievement and future promise as a mathematician, and who has demonstrated leadership both in and outside of the classroom. Congratulations, Jenna. Nisa Marie Villarreal. Nisa is the recipient of the Political Science Best Senior Thesis Award. The political science faculty has established this award to recognize graduating senior students in political science who have submitted outstanding as well as original theses. Congratulations, Nisa. Christina A. Violano, Catherine Rose Vitali, Jocelyn Page Vitanza, Michelle Teresa Vitelli, Kimberly Rachel Vumbach, Hannah Elizabeth Ward. Hannah is the recipient of the Lynn Gershonen Hodgson Prize in Gerontology. This award in honor of Professor Emerita Lynn Gershenson Hodgson, former chair of the Department of Sociology, Criminal Justice, and Anthropology, is presented annually to a senior gerontology major or a departmental major who pursued interests related to the field of gerontology and who demonstrates outstanding academic and leadership qualities. Congratulations, Hannah. Jacob Peter Ward. Carrie Ann Wetzelberger. Alexandra Grace Wilson. Colin Logan Vinders. Jacqueline Nicole Withington. Hannah Robin Wolfson. Rachel Lee Rinn. Rachel is the recipient of the College of Arts and Sciences Award for Special Achievement. This award is given to the graduating senior in the College of Arts and Sciences who has a record of exceptional achievement in the face of adversity. The award was established in honor of Morris Waskow, former professor of psychology and dean. Congratulations, Rachel. Sabrina Yunus, Mohammed Daniel Zafar, Gisela Pauline Zakeo, Justin Thomas Zimnoch, Bizarta Zogaj, Peter G. Zigadlo, I ask the candidates to please rise. Mr. President, I have the honor to present from the College of Arts and Sciences candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences approach the stage? Marshals, please direct the candidates to the platform. Haley Elizabeth Abbott, Zanil Abedin, Travis Edward Adamson, Akorfa Adabor, Percy Thomas Algarate, James Matthew Alvarado, Alessandra Rosa Alvarez Hinoyosa, Brenda E. Balarezo, Jesse Dale Batty, Brittany Addison Bain, Bailey Noel Bessel, Catherine Shannon Brown, Larissa Marie Brown, Adam Calderon, McKenna Brooke Kamara, Paige Ashley Shannon Shaloy Campbell, Daniel Ann Santafonte, Andrew Nicholas Chesney. Andrew is the recipient of the Orville J. Sweeting Memorial Chemistry Prize. This award in memory of Orville J. Sweeting, former faculty member and Quinnipiac provost, is presented to a graduating senior who has exhibited outstanding achievement in both the academic and senior research setting in chemistry or in biochemistry. Congratulations, Andrew. Zachary Keith Culver, Anastasia Epitroupo, Maria Figitakis, Ashley Patricia Forte, Coral Ashley Freeman, Lindsay Morgan Freuhoff, Michael Gentili, Brooke Shannon Gunatilka, Samantha Holly Grillo, Ariana Corina Guglielmi, Aaron Carl Hanna, Jessica Marie Hernandez, Yeliza Noemi Jimenez, Demi Anna Catis, Elsie Kudua, Christopher Paul Kennecke, Yasmina Kolanovic, Zachary Joseph Korwick, Natalia Emily Krolik, Megan Alyssa Lane, Jacob Michael LaPerche. Jacob is the recipient of the Beta 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 Award. This award is presented to the graduating senior in the Department of Biological Sciences, who is a member of the Beta 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 National Biological Honor Society, Upsilon Chapter, and has attained the highest academic standing. Congratulations, Jacob. Gary Harris Layton, Andrea Jane Leboeuf, Evan Robert Leboff, Alexandra Nicole Lorca, Emily Jean Lucibella, Michael Paul McConaughey, Alexi Maria Mangili. Alexi is the recipient of the Alice B. Ramel Memorial Award. This award is presented to the graduating student majoring in English with the highest academic record and is given in memory of a distinguished member of the department. Congratulations, Alexi. Juliana McBroom, Leslie Page McEachern, Travis Nelson McMurray, Justin Alexander Mendoza, Kelly Elizabeth Millar, Matthew Christopher Muller, Brian M. Moltner, Elizabeth S. O'Brien, Bulawatife Osulafon, Kevin Obing Awatre, Michael John Paquette, Marquand Paris, Brent Sloan Pfeiffer, Michael Joseph Picciello, Anne-Marie Elizabeth Perron, Jordan Page Platts, Alana Lauren Pollock, Alex Christopher Postolico, Courtney Elizabeth Quinn, Brooke Chalfin Ransom, Sarah Nicole Raphaelson, Danielle E. Riccatelli, Sherilyn Rivera, Ferris B. Sasa, Lee Linda Suranjogi, Madison Lily Shields, Ayana C. Simpson, Michael Lyndon Strazik, Katrina Rose Svoboda, Alexander James Sweat, Rachel Valerie Tarbell, whose birthday it is today, by the way. Happy birthday. Christopher Allen Truel. Christopher is the recipient of the Matt Rafferty Memorial Economics Department Student Achievement Award. This award is given to the student majoring in economics who has shown outstanding academic achievement and contributed significantly to the department. Congratulations, Christopher. Rebecca Jean Vibach, Maria Rose White, Donald Paul Whittier III, Daniel Waltman, and Ailey Page Wyatt. I ask the candidates to please rise. Mr. President, I have the honor to present the College of Arts and Sciences candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to all of you.
Nicely done, everyone. Before I introduce the student speaker, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the College of Arts and Sciences Student Council. This is a new organization that was instrumental in selecting this year's student speaker. I'd like to ask the student council members to stand and be recognized, please. This group represents some of the best qualities of our graduating class. And under the leadership of Taylor Cello, they've done a marvelous job this year, so congratulations, all of you. One of those members of the Student Council is the student speaker, and it's my privilege now to introduce Jason Coulmon. Jason is a math and philosophy double major and is from Wallingford, Connecticut. Jason?
I suppose I have a chance to redeem myself after that ticket slip up earlier. Before I start, for those of you who don't know me, I have the terrible habit of making things philosophical. And if you do know me, it's just more of the same, so you're not going to be surprised. I'd like to first, of course, thank Dean Smart for that introduction and extend a warm welcome to the platform party behind me, the faculty and the friends and family in the audience, and then, of course, most importantly, the class of 2017. And you have been warned. I like to consider knowledge as a function of time. I think that as time goes on, knowledge, dependent on time, follows suit. It increases, decreases, gets corrected, simplified, improved, and so forth. What I also think, which should be pretty uncontroversial to say, is that the whole point of getting an education is to gain this knowledge. To many of you here, this knowledge might be thought to be the sorts of things you'd copy down in your notes, the definitions you'd memorized, or the video lectures you listened to. I used to think no differently. Again, to many of you here, this brand of knowledge, of education, might seem intuitively correct. Think back now to your time in a classroom, in the library, or studying, and in what your understanding of your education, and so of your knowledge, consisted. The great majority of our time was spent looking at notes, memorizing definitions, writing papers, and listening to lectures. So how could knowledge be thought to be anything else? Where else could the reason for our education lie? Well, as I stand up here, what I'd like to say about this understanding of knowledge and education, that is what I now think of it, is that it is wrong and rests on a mistaken understanding of what either of those things really are. Now, before any of you peg me as an anarchist or something like that, let me explain what it is I mean with a brief and somewhat interactive anecdote. Before I came to Quinnipiac, I thought the world had in it a finite collection of information, facts, dates, and answers, and I thought I would do well to learn as much of it as I could. Learning to me was the process of storing this information. My job as a student was to take it and consolidate it as memory. And to me, this is just what knowledge and education was. Then I came to Quinnipiac, and in a very short time as a student, my understanding of what it meant to attain knowledge, of what it meant to get an education, changed drastically. My time here was spent in philosophy courses, which is often just perceived as the study of professional confusion. But it was there where I realized that the value of studying it didn't lie, and wasn't supposed to lie, in the overt skepticism and perplexity of the information, but rather in what such an approach instilled, namely careful and deliberate thought to employ in one's life. My time was spent in math courses, which I began to see had ultimately very little to do with number crunching and graphing, much more to do with instilling skills in independent problem solving and purposeful reasoning. It was spent in a few English courses, which had to do not just with how to write and argue a point, but with how to use my own experiences to bring out my voice in my writing and arguing, directing my effort toward practicing in sentence style, and exploring the negative effects of smartphone technology on the capacity for empathy and the value in face-to-face conversation. I also found that in my experiences outside of the immediate classroom and coursework environment, I was relying not so much on the information in my courses, on what I learned, but on my ability to exercise the innovation and creativity with that information, that is, on how to ultimately use what I learned. And I began to recognize that this process was much more valuable as I progressed not just as a student, but as a person. Now, here comes the interactive part I was talking about earlier. As I name out a few experiences of my own, I invite you, the very, very recent graduates, to really look back on your own experiences, say attending the World Summit of Nobel Peace Laureates, going on a service trip to the Dominican Republic, the experiences you had with QThon, or anything of that sort, and think about the value it had on your education and the sort of knowledge it helped you to cultivate. During my time as a Quinnipiac student, I taught a middle school philosophy club, where teaching what I learned in my philosophy classes was easy. Adapting the lesson for 6th and 7th grade students in a way that showed I understood philosophy well enough to describe it to their age group was much more difficult, and their learning experience was that much more rewarding. Being a member of Quinnipiac Best Buddies taught me more than I ever could have imagined about mentorship and community. Getting to the point where I stopped considering myself as a member, but rather just as a person making sincere time for friends, opened up the way to advocacy and humility, and informed my professional aspirations and interests. Raising my hand in a class and knowing the right response to a question was straightforward. Having a real discussion with a friend outside of class about something going on in the world, where what I learned in that course didn't provide direct assistance. It wasn't supposed to provide direct assistance, but allowed me to better see how I might infer or conjecture on my own, supplementing with my experiences, was more demanding, and again, that much more rewarding. If you've been following me, I hope you've noticed the shift from knowledge as information and memorization to knowledge as experience. What we can call what knowledge on the one hand and how knowledge on the other. Given all this, what I want to say about education, what I believe about our education, is this. Its purpose truly was not to build up our best set of what knowledge. This was, of course, an important piece of it, but only insofar as it helped and helps us pursue how knowledge, since it is through this knowledge that we see how to adapt, how to think, and how to solve problems. Only a very small amount of education ultimately relies on what you write down in a notebook or type on a computer, what you study on a flashcard, or what fill in the blank you hesitantly fill in. What matters, by and large, is how you're able to take all of that and have the ability to manipulate it to fit a situation, to teach someone, to help someone, or accomplish something that really matters to you. Developing this ability was the purpose of the last 4 years we've spent here as students. I'll end this anecdotal journey by saying that if you progressed here at Quinnipiac without cultivating this ability, then you missed a truly vital part of your education. But I impel you now by saying that it's never too late to begin this pursuit. As the philosopher John Dewey wrote, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. So, as I stand up here, I'll leave you with this. First of all, we did it. But more importantly, there's a whole hell of a lot we have yet to do. And as time goes on, I'm sure you'll find again and again that what we do in our lives is not so much a matter of what we've learned, as it is a matter of how we'll all ultimately use it. I leave that now, confidently, with each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Now I'd like to introduce Bob Passero, Quinnipiac alumnus, who will officially welcome our graduates as alumni.
Thank you, Dean Smart. I ask the graduates to please rise. It is my honor to stand before you as a member of the class of 1970 and as a member of the Alumni Board of Governors. I invite you to move your tassel from to the left side of your cap. I'm having problems with this. This simple act signifies your transition from student to alumnus and the continuation of your unique, meaningful, and lifelong relationship with Quinnipiac. And if you ever see me at a game or an alumni function, please come and say hello. I especially pleased to have you all as fellow alumni. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you. I have some quick business to take care of here before I reintroduce Rabbi Rinat Judd. who will deliver the benediction, I have a few announcements. Only the platform party and faculty will recess out. Our graduates and families can proceed after this ceremony to the Rocky Top Student Center next door for a reception. Transportation for those that need assistance is available outside the front of the building here. Once outside, you'll see the signs on the left. And now please stand. It's my privilege to ask Rabbi Judd, University Rabbi, to please come forward and deliver the benediction.
Congratulations, Mazal Tov. May you graduates and your families, may you love and be loved. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face turn towards you and shine peace upon you. Have a wonderful life.